Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-stews.com, and tonight we're back at the camper, shooting outside, and I thought I would dig into the cellar because during these times I've been cleaning stuff out. I discovered this mead. I didn't really discover it, I know it's been there. So we pulled out this mead that I made. It's a mixed berry mead, so frozen mixed berries, and a big blend of them. And this mead is 6 years old. And it's been in the fermenter for 6 years.
Just sitting there. You haven't taken it out to like maybe thin out some paint or something?
No. Tastes better than it smells, but we'll get to that. So here's the interesting thing. So this is orange blossom honey.
Good start.
I didn't go for a super, this was a 2.5 gallon batch, and I didn't go for a super high gravity. So this was about 6 to 8 pounds of honey. One big foil thing, maybe one extra honey bear, I think is what I used to get there. But anyway, and then I fermented it, I co-fermented it. The mead, the honey, and the mixed berry. So this was like 3 pounds of frozen mixed berries. So it's strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, just from the supermarket. And I co-fermented it in at the same time. It's got a pretty nice color. It's super clear because it's been in the fermenter for 6 years. The weird thing, the interesting thing about this process-wise is that it's been on the berries the whole time. So I didn't like rack it off the berries and then age it some more.
Okay.
So I had you taste this off camera after a shoot. We tasted this maybe 2 years ago or something. I said, I don't know if this is any good. It's been sitting here. I just want to get rid of it. Maybe it was even like 4 years ago, and you said no, it's just let it go.
I remember that. So it was probably like 2 years ago. Yeah,
I said
18 months.
I said okay, just let it go. It'll be fine. Of course, for me, let it go means don't do anything else to it. I just put the T-shirt back on it and left it there.
Forget it.
And so finally, cleaning stuff out. I'm doing some minor renovations to the brew, the tasting space downstairs, Studio B or whatever that is, and I bottled this so I could free up the fermenter and just get it out of the way. So anyway, it's a 6-year-old mead, orange blossom honey, Lavalin 71B yeast, right? The 71.
Yeah.
Right? And then
Beaujolais.
And then a whole bunch of mixed berries for 6 years. What do you think?
So let's talk about this nose. And that's why I was trying to make a joke about, it's very solvent-y, right? That's why I was like, are you trying to like peel paint off walls? Yeah. But as it warms, I'm getting more of the honey characteristics and a little bit of the berry. But like right off the top, I was like, wow, you could smell the heat of the alcohol. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's very like it's there, it's present, but as it warms up, it gets a lot fruitier.
It's actually breathing. Now that we've had it out, like when we first smelled it, we poured it. Next time we do a 6-year-old mead, we'll have to let it first, shoot some of the videos.
Let it breathe for 20 minutes before we actually
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Nope. But it's got a little bit of legs. Clarity is spot on. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. I mean, this looks like almost like a rosé. Not saying it is. Anyway, smell it. Again, like strong alcohol presence on the nose, a little bit very solvent-y, but like then you get some notes of the honey and the berries. Taste is completely different.
Which is so mind-blowing.
And that's where there's like residual sweetness in the flavor. There's a lot of honey characteristic. Yeah. Super great. And do you remember how this finished? Meaning like the gravity?
It's pretty dry. It's like down at 10:05 or something like that.
See, this doesn't drink like a 10:05.
No.
This drinks more like, one of those meads that like Beyond Sack or whatever. Like it's a sweet mead. Like it doesn't have the
There's
body.
There's a perception of sweetness there.
Yes, it doesn't have the body of a mead like that would probably finish at like 10:25, 10:30. But certainly the flavor holds up to what I think, like this is an enjoyable mead from a honey characteristic and a fruit characteristic.
Yeah.
So it blends well. There's definitely some oxidation. There's some, age you can taste.
Yeah, because over 6 years, eventually you need to refill the airlock once or twice. And I worried about that. But it's amazing. The mouthfeel is, for me at least, the mouthfeel is beautiful. It's silky, but it's not heavy. It's not big, but it's very smooth. It's very robust and embracing the mouthfeel. It's great.
And there's no weird fermentation characteristics. Either like the time between the time we tasted it, let's say 2 years ago, and now, all the things that were there that would like seem premature, or like it's been scrubbed out.
Yeah.
It seems like now it's a very pleasant,
aged out.
Yeah, it's pleasant tasting.
I wonder if the aroma is a little bit of like autolysis, maybe yeast autolysis. I mean, it's just sat there for all that time on the yeast. I don't know.
But it also could be just like major contact with the berries. You got to think that's gonna.
The berry skins themselves, eventually that alcohol just leaching out, tannins and all this stuff. But tannins will also will go insoluble eventually, maybe pulling out some of that other unpleasantry stuff. Yeah, I'm not, to be honest with you, I mean, I enjoy tasting meads, sampling them and thinking about them process-wise, but I'm not necessarily a big fan of drinking mead. I rarely do I think to myself, what would go great right now? A glass of mead. I never really think about drinking a full serving of mead.
No.
But this is the closest I think I've come to like saying, oh, I guess I would drink that. I wouldn't drink more than this serving, but with like, I don't know, some ziti or something, maybe I would. That would go pair well with something like that.
That's what that's what I'm thinking. Like, you know what? A hot summer day, doing some yard work. Let's have a mead.
I'll just pour the rest of that in my Camelback, mow the lawn. It'd be great.
You'll fall over. The lawnmower will run you over. That'll be like sad news in Brew Dude's world. Mike actually followed through on his plan of drinking mead and doing yard work, mowing his lawn, and that thing just tore him apart. So
he was happy.
The service is going to be next Wednesday.
Yes.
Oh man! But anyway, hey, I'm glad that you let it lie. I'm glad you forgot it for 2 years.
When was the last time you really had an opportunity to say drink a 10-year-old or a 6-year-old? Pick your favorite red wine.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, most of the wine that we buy just maybe it's got 2 years, 3 years age on it as far as what you buy at the store. I mean, so it's hard from a lack of experience to like pick out age character per se in this, and I don't make enough meads to say, oh, this is what a 6-year would taste like, but
I think the last time my father-in-law was part of a wine club, and so they get these like small wineries from California, these old vine wines or whatever. I can still say like a top 10 drinking experience, maybe even top 5, was a Christmas Eve at his house. He opened up one of these bottles of wine and it was just like amazing. Of course, time, place, all of that factored in. It's like one of those things where you drive you drive in like 3 hours of traffic, you get there and then you're just kind of like unwinding.
Motor oil tastes good at that point.
But it was even like if I like had an enjoyable day and was like
presentation.
Exactly. All of it was great. And then, like it definitely like unfolded in every sip. Like everything like it just became clearer as time went on how great this was.
So swing top mead bottle on my beat up 86 camper.
Number 4. With a bullet. Position 4, top drinking experience of all time.
All right, cool.
Don't ask me 1 through 3. I'll have to think about it. But like,
we'll check in with this in another 6 years.
Sweet.
All right.
Do you have enough to hold on?
I've got like of various sizes. I've got about 8 or 10 bottles. So like I said, this isn't something that I would sit down and go, I'm going to open some of that mead. But this is something that I would hold on to and crack open 3 years from now, 6 years from now, and just keep going and see what it's like.
Awesome. Well, if I'm here 6 years, let's do it again.
Awesome.
6 more years, we'll try to crack the top 3.
All right.
See what happens. All right, thanks for watching. Mead isn't always the thing that we're doing, but certainly from a homebrew perspective, if you're looking to just do something very simple, putting together wine and water and yeast and just letting it sit is some of the easiest
Couldn't be
brewing
easier. Yeah.
you can do,
Yeah.
you know, like in a very short amount of time. And it's one of those things where if you just, you know, set and forget it and have it, so you can have one of these things like, hey, I have this thing that's X number of years old, and you can be really amazed by the results. So that's why we do it. I know that like people will be like, I don't want to watch another Mead videos from these goofballs, but I still think that it's worth checking out. And
Yeah.
again, it's simple. It's a little more expensive than your typical beer brewing, but I think that you'll have a lot to talk to your grandkids about at some point, I'm guessing. So give us a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We like to do this every single week. We post a video. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, mead on.
Cheers.